The girl who walked into the night at around 2:30 in the morning on February 14, 2000. 9-year-old Asia Degree was awake inside her family's home in Shelby, North Carolina. Her parents were asleep, her older brother was asleep. Outside, a powerful storm was moving through the area. The wind was strong, rain was falling. It was the kind of night where most people would want to be nowhere except inside their homes. But sometime before dawn, Asha got out of bed. She got dressed. She packed a small backpack. And then she walked out of her house alone. Nobody knows exactly why. That is where one of the strangest missing person mysteries in America begins. According to the FBI, Asha was seen walking along Highway 18 in the early hours of the morning. A passing motorist reportedly saw a child walking by the side of the road. The driver stopped. Asha ran away, and another motorist later reported seeing her. Again, she was walking alone. It was dark, it was raining, and Asha was only 9 years old, yet she kept walking. Her parents didn't immediately know she was gone. They believed she was asleep. When they discovered that she wasn't in the house, panic began. They searched the rooms, they looked around the property. Then they realized something horrifying. Asha's backpack was missing. So were some of her clothes? She hadn't simply wandered into another room. She had left the house. The police were contacted. Search teams began looking through the neighborhood. People searched roads, fields, and wooden areas, but Asha was nowhere. The weather made everything worse. Rain can destroy footprints, water can wash away evidence, darkness can hide almost anything, and Asha had been walking along a highway where cars were constantly passing. Investigators began asking the public for information. Did anyone see her? Did anyone stop? Did anyone pick her up? Did anyone know where she had gone? Then came a strange clue. Asha's family had no obvious reasons to believe she planned to run away. She was 9 years old. She had a family, she had a home, she had a school. Yet investigators determined that she had apparently left deliberately. And that created a terrifying question. Why would a 9 years old child walk outside alone in the middle of a storm? There was no simple answer. Maybe she had become frightened. Maybe she believed she had somewhere important to go. Maybe someone had convinced her to leave. Or maybe something happened inside the house that investigators had discovered. Nobody knew. But then, more than a year after Asha disappeared, something was found: her backpack. It turned up approximately 30 miles away from her home. That discovery completely changed the case. Because if Asha had been working alone, how had her backpack traveled so far? Had someone picked her up? Had someone carried it? Had she reached that location herself? And why wasn't the backpack there? The FBI later reported that investigators found items inside it, including a book and a t-shirt that did not belong to Asha. Those objects created even more evidence, even more questions. Who did the shirt belong to? Why was it in her backpack? How did it get there? Nobody could give a definitive answer. Years passed. Asha remained missing. Her family continued searching. Investigators continued investigating. The case attracted enormous attention, but every new theory seemed to create another question. One of the most disturbing possibilities was that Asha had gotten into a vehicle. Investigators eventually released information about the possible car. They believe it may have been an older model, a 1917 Lincoln Continental Mark IV or Ford Thunderbird, reportedly with rust around the wheels. But nobody could prove that this vehicle had anything to do with Asha. And that uncertainty is what makes the case so haunting. Someone may have seen her, someone may have spoken to her, someone may have stopped beside her on the dark highway. Someone may know what happened after she disappeared, but if that person exists, they have never proved it. The answer investigators need. Imagine being a driver on Highway 18 that night. It's raining, the road is almost empty, your headlights caught through the darkness. Then suddenly you see something ahead. At first you think it's an animal. Then you realize it's a child, a little girl walking beside the road alone in the rain. You slow down, you look again. She keeps walking. You might wonder where her parents are. You may think she is lost. You may stop. Or perhaps you simply keep driving and then years later you hear about a missing 9-year-old girl. You realize the child you saw that night may have been her. That thought would stay with you forever. There is another detail that makes the story especially frightening. Asha wasn't simply seen once, she was reportedly seen by multiple people. That means she was definitely outside. She was definitely working. And she was apparently moving away from home. But nobody knows where she intended to go. She vanished somewhere between the last confirmed sightings and the discovery of her backpack. There is no confirmed final destination, no confirmed person responsible, no confirmed explanation. Just a series of clues separated by darkness. For Asha's family, the years haven't erased the mystery. The FBI has continued to investigate the disappearance and the case remains open. Investigators have followed leads across different locations. They have released images and information in the hope that someone will finally recognize something important. The FBI has also emphasized that rumors and theories aren't enough. Evidence matters, and a strange story on the internet doesn't solve a disappearance. A suspicious looking photograph doesn't necessarily mean anything, and sometimes the smallest genuine clue can matter more than thousands of theories. That is why Asha's case has remained alive. Someone might remember something, someone might finally tell the truth, someone might know what happened after the little girl walked into the darkness. The most frightening part of the story isn't that Asha disappeared from some abandoned building. She wasn't lost deep inside the forest, she wasn't alone on the desert island. She was walking beside a public highway. Cars were passing, people were awake. Someone saw her and yet she disappeared. Think about that. A 9-year-old girl left her home during a storm. She walked into the darkness. People saw her. Then she was gone. Her family never saw her again. Her backpack was found more than a year later. And after more than 2 decades, investigators still don't have the complete story. The FBI continues to ask for information about Asha's disappearance. Her family continues to hope for answers. And somewhere there may be a person who remembers that night, someone who remembers the rain, someone who remembers a little girl walking along the highway, someone who remembers stopping their car, someone who remembers what happened next. And perhaps the most chilling possibility is this: Asha may not have disappeared when she walked into the darkness. She may have disappeared because someone was waiting for her there. And if that is what happened, the person responsible has spent more than 26 years knowing exactly where she went.